Today's sponsors are Angelo's Interiors, specialising in kitchens, bedrooms and bathrooms. Go and visit their showroom today in Gillingham. Their web address is angelosinteriors.com. And De Medici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on demediciassociates.com. Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Rachel Burridge.
And me, Simon Burridge. Really getting... Can we do this in the... Because the podcast has its...
sorry.
Yeah?
So I've got to
It will
text
start when you take that up there.
What do I say?
Whatever.
My business name or my
You
name?
say both if you want. And then clap afterwards.
Okay.
That's it. She's meant me to.
Right in the camera.
Yeah, right in the camera.
Right in the camera. Oh God, look at these wrinkles. So say hello.
You can say whatever you want now. I've given up.
All right, okay. Hi, I'm Zoe Ashby from Zoe Adele Performing Arts. Here we go. Was that all right?
I thought it was ZAPA.
Wait, Zoe Adele before ZAPA. Zoe Adele Performing Arts said APA.
Oh, Zoe what? Performing Arts?
Zoe Adele. It's not Ashby.
Oh. Zoe Adele. Is that your maiden note or is it
Middle
someone
name.
else? Middle, right. Oh. So it's Zoe Adele Performing Arts.
Yeah, this is an old jumper. My new ones say.
What, the new one
Zoe
means
Adele.
Ashby?
Yeah. It's still ZAPA, but underneath it says Zoe Adele Performing Arts because that's what ZAPA actually stands for.
Zoe
But everyone
Adele.
thinks it's Ashby.
Of course they would,
Yeah.
because that's your name.
Well, you
Yes.
could get away with it though, couldn't
Yeah, but
you?
I've been...
Right, okay, sorry,
Sorry.
before you start.
Yes, before we start.
Go on then.
Where?
You have not.
I have seen it, but
You
now
have
you've
not
made
seen
me
it.
think and I don't know
It's
what
on the
to
spot.
do.
You can't put her on the spot like that.
You put me on the
Have
spot.
You have not seen the... If you don't know about this sign, you have not seen the
Yeah,
podcast.
because it falls off all the time.
All right. Just give me a time when you think it's going to fall off from now.
Right,
And then
yeah,
clap.
okay.
From...
I think at 10 minutes.
10 minutes,
10 minutes
from,
in.
From...
Nah.
That's it. Sorted. That's all you had to worry about. She's winging this, Rach.
Yeah.
I'm not.
She's very
I'm not.
optimistic
I'm not-
with that
look,
sign.
if you don't-
as well.
You're making me nervous. I told you I was nervous anyway.
That's what I'm doing. It's a new podcast. So if you don't know about it, you don't know about it.
I do know about it. I've watched them.
What ones have you watched?
But I listened to The Celebrant. She was good. And your singer. The singer was good. I can't find Darren though. I wanted to watch Darren.
Darren's not
He's
out
not
yet.
out yet.
Oh, that's why
Yeah.
then.
Well, he is out.
Oh,
He's out after you. Before you. He's
yeah,
out before you.
Yeah.
Of course.
So what we do is we record at least 2 a week.
Yes.
So when we got the wedding season,
Yeah.
that will catch up.
Yeah.
But the ones with the singer and the ones with me and Rach
Yeah,
are
yeah.
filmed once a week. So those ones are up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything else will drift on until we get a busy week. Then they'll start coming back. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is confusing.
Very clever. Very
So
clever.
Darren Holton was on 3 podcasts ago.
Yeah.
We've had 2 since him.
Yeah.
He told
Yeah.
me not to worry.
This
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
is actually really interesting because he spoke about like really random stuff I had no idea about. And then I actually found it quite interesting, actually, listening to what he does
Yeah.
and all the stuff behind the scenes and stuff
He has
like
a job
as
that
well.
not many people would want to do.
No.
No. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself then. Sorry, Zoe.
That's all right.
Zoe Ashby. I've already forgotten the other name, the other A.
Adele.
Adele.
It's not on the one. My name.
That's me trying to get my memory going. Zoe Adele.
And I didn't know that you were in a band until I listened to the podcast.
Oh, you didn't know I was in a band?
No.
I've been
He's in about 5.
on and off bands for... I've been playing since I was, 12. Bass guitar.
wow.
I've always loved Level 42.
Oh, really?
And Mark King. Do you know who that is, Level 42?
Yeah,
Actually,
I've heard of them.
You're a youngster, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're similar age to Rach.
I'm 34.
Oh.
Younger than
She's
me.
1 year older than you.
Oh.
Yeah, so you won't know who Level 42 is.
I mean, I've heard of them,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it's not something that I'd be like, well, let's have a listen.
The only
Yeah.
reason I know is because obviously
It's stuck
Simon
with me.
likes them, and then I
It's
have
stuck
to go
with
to
me.
their concerts and stuff like that.
You don't have to go. I can take people I really like. If you want.
Okay.
Oh.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. So, yeah. So where are you from originally? Because, I'm going to have to put subtitles on this for some people every now and then.
Aren't you, Tony? West Yorkshire.
Oh, right, okay.
Originally. And then I moved to go to college in Barbican.
Oh, right, yep.
When I was...
London.
Yeah, central London.
Okay.
When I was just turning 17.
Okay.
So, like, obviously really, really young.
Mm.
And then I was there for a few years and just kind of, like, moved further and further out.
Yeah.
And then ended up in Gravesend.
Lucky you.
Since-
What did you do wrong?
Met a boy. You know, the usual. Met a boy. Before that, I was in Sidcup. Before that, I was in Bromley. Done it literally like...
You
Oh,
are
so
literally
you have
gradually
actually.
moving out.
You are literally stepping down.
I did, yeah.
It's like the start of Dad's army with the arrows gradually being pushed back.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to get to Ramsgate and then go to France.
So the boy you met, are you still with him now? Is that
We
your
are
husband?
married. Yes.
Yes.
Aw.
Yeah, we've got a 6-year-old, a 16-month-old, and we've been married for 3 years in July. Together
Oh,
for
okay.
9 in July.
Oh, that's so cute. How are you finding it with the baby? Well, it's not a baby anymore, is there, but
The second just hits different, doesn't it? The second baby is just
Walks out.
just feral. It's the only way. But I've been told not to say feral. It's spirited. You're supposed to say spirited. It's spirited. No, she's not. She's feral. AF. She is nuts. That kid is like made of something different.
I think because the second one has to just fit in with your lifestyle, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Because
yeah.
you've got the school runs
You're
to,
used to
you've
it,
got
yeah.
everything
That's
else.
it.
They're like, just get me in the car. I remember walking down doing the school run, feeding my one, going, quick, you need to get to school.
Yeah.
Right, still in.
Yeah.
So is it 2 girls or a boy?
2 girls.
2 girls,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Although the second one does have, unisex. It's Billy. It's called Billy.
Oh, right, okay.
And everyone thinks it's a he.
Oh.
But it's not. 'Cause, Billy
Billy's
can
a
be
girl. Yeah, Billy's a
Oh,
girl's
I
name
see.
as well, yeah.
Billy
And that was 18
Yeah.
months ago, did you say?
16 months.
16
Yeah.
months ago. Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. And your little girl is 6, did you say?
6, 7 in August.
Oh, right. So you've not been going to school that long?
No, she's the oldest is in year 2.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but she's like the youngest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when Billy came along, I'd had my dance school for a year.
Mm.
And I did panic because obviously, to start a business
And then
to
say
be
I'm
like,
on.
I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
I didn't want everyone to think, oh, God.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
Probably
What's-
need to jump ship here.
Yeah.
So, no, everyone was really lovely. And at the same time, I had to move venues as well
Mm.
because we outgrew where we were
Where was you before?
previously. We was at Cyclo Park.
Oh, right.
yeah,
Okay.
So I still work
We lived
there
really
now.
near there once.
Oh, did
Yeah,
you?
very close to there.
Oh, really?
Because the school's at the bottom,
Off
isn't
of Mulberry
it?
Road. We were
Yes,
off of Mulberry Road.
Yeah.
We're just down there.
But I still work there now.
Mm.
I teach dance fitness, adult dance fitness there now.
Cool.
But they offered me back in 2021, like a studio, the room on a Saturday, and was like, why don't you do something? We don't have any like children's dance activities or anything.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it? And I was like, because I already work for somebody else doing
Yeah.
that. And that's how I sort of started out.
Hey.
I just got some flyers and posted on social media
Yeah.
and just had a Saturday morning for an hour and a half. And when I first did the open day, there was like 20 kids.
Wow.
And then I kept basically all of them
Yeah.
and they kept coming back. And then I kept asking if I did a baby class. Do you do a baby class? And I was like, no, but I can.
Yeah.
So then I started doing that as well on a Saturday morning before the like performing arts
Yeah.
section that we did. And then, it sort of just grew from there. And then I needed sort of 2 spaces running at the same time
Yeah.
so that I could separate the age groups and make it, their stuff a bit more age friendly.
Yeah.
If they're,
Of course.
if they're like 9, they don't want to be really with a
With a
4-year-old
yeah.
and they don't really do the same thing
Yeah.
either.
Absolutely.
So and then after that, I needed 3 spaces and there just wasn't another space there for
Yeah.
me. So I was like, I better.
Where
Better
are you
mix
now? Where are you
them.
located now?
I'm at Eastgate Centre, which is a community centre on Springhead.
Oh, right. Is that the Ebbsfleet area?
That's it. yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
right, okay.
So I'm
yeah.
there now. And we're there. So I started out from 10 until 11:30 on a Saturday
Brand new,
morning.
innit? Literally, 4 years, 5 years old? Maybe a bit longer.
3. This is my 3rd year.
Yeah.
Going into my 3rd year now. So I'm there from 9 until 1:30 on a Saturday. Then we're there Monday nights. I've got street dance. So I've got ballet and tap. We're there on a Tuesday doing acting for stage, TV and film. Thursday nights, musical theatre, private singing lessons. So
you say you're doing acting for stage, TV and film.
yes.
God.
Are you linked to any sort of companies like agencies or anything like that?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
My God,
So
I
we
segued
work-
that and I didn't
I
even
know.
know.
Did you
It
not
was as if
know?
I
Oh,
knew.
I thought that you'd
Oh,
like
no,
full
just
on
as much as you don't
been
know about
research.
us.
Oh,
I
behave
don't know
yourself.
about you.
Yes, I do. Told you.
Right, okay.
No,
Yeah.
this is
linked
where
to?
we get to know you. This is where it all comes
this
out.
is interesting. I thought you'd had a bit
there's
of a
times when we need
research.
actors, Zoe, as you know.
Well, I did say to Tony, put myself forward. I was like, do you think they would ever need any? Because I obviously don't do it professionally anymore. I just teach. But I still love it. I mean, I joined, when I moved to Bromley, I didn't know anybody when I moved to Bromley. And I joined an amateur dramatics group and did a few plays and shows with them.
Right.
Because I love it. And I don't care who I perform with or where it is, what it's for, if it's paid or not paid anymore. Obviously, the teaching side of it's different.
We
So
could have done
I would
with you
be
a few
your
years
direct.
ago.
Yeah. I just love it so much. Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
when you actually went to university, was that mainly just dance, or was it dance and theatre?
It was everything. So it was full on performing arts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you find that then? I bet it was quite intense sometimes, wasn't it?
It was. So I've only ever been to like 2 dance schools as a child. Sorry. So the first one was predominantly dance based, and as much as I did love dancing, I love singing, and like musical theatre is like my absolute favourite thing to do, and acting as well. So we found somewhere that did all of those things. So the school that I was going to was predominantly exam based, and they were like scary exams.
Yeah.
As well, like with a full on examiner, and you'd have to like go in there and do like
tick
full
off everything. And
yeah. It's quite a scary thing to do as a child, which sounds weird because then I love going on stage in front of loads of people. I prefer to go on as somebody else rather than obviously like sit here talking about myself. But that's what I love to do, be on stage and behind the camera, but pretending to be
Go
somebody
behind
else.
the curtains and appear as someone else.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, so that's what I prefer to do.
We should put a load of nationalities up. A load of
Have you got any props behind there?
Blanket.
I can come out as anybody you want.
Now, being from Yorkshire,
Yes.
there's something I want you to translate for me.
Oh no.
Oh, right, okay.
You've probably been asked this before, but it always
don't
makes
know
me
what
laugh.
This is.
Imagine you're back home.
Right.
I want you to say, "There's nothing in the tin."
There's now in tin.
Oh, right. I thought it was tin. Tint.
Tin.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that as well. Tin. Now in tin.
Tin.
No, so did
No,
that let
no.
you down a bit?
She's let me down.
Sorry. To be fair, I have lived.
You haven't been there long. You've got the accent, but you've not been there hardly at all.
No, I've
really.
lived in London and Kent longer than I lived in Yorkshire. Almost now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're still a youngster. So you've only really, that's all you've ever done? What other jobs have you had in your life to get you by?
There's a running joke that I've literally done every single job that you could possibly think of. So I started out working in our local Chinese takeaway.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. As a 12-year-old girl taking the order. Yeah.
Wow.
So I started there and then worked.
That's nerve-wracking as a 12-year-old.
No, I mean,
But the thing is, they're more
You're
very
confident.
laid
I
back.
was always quite confident.
Love, what do you want?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So taking orders on the phone, like people coming in, and then I worked in our local gym in the juice bar, and then obviously left. I was an teaching assistant from the age of 12, 13.
In dance.
In dance, yeah. So I went and assisted all of their, the younger, the baby classes and things like that.
In dance. No, the local school. up north, they finish at 10.
We start,
They
we
start
start
teaching
early
at
up there.
12.
They put us out. We don't go down mine no more.
It might have been in
Get out that mine and in that classroom.
Yeah.
Shut up, sorry.
So that's why I now have I like to give children the opportunity to assist. So we've got a couple of
Chinese restaurants.
Yeah. Working, get them down mine in Chinese restaurant. No,
You got a couple of that's nice.
younger assistants. Yeah. And I give I got my first teaching job at 17, 18. So I like to do that for other people as well. Because with teaching dance and singing and musical theatre, for me, I don't believe that it's all about the qualification that you've got. You could be the most incredible singer or dancer. You could be the most amazing dancer in the world, but it doesn't mean that you can teach. They're two very, very, very different things.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to know, you have to be knowledgeable in that field, in that particular discipline. But that's why we've got a couple of girls that teach for me that are still training at the moment, which is amazing because obviously stuff that they're learning Monday to Friday, they're then bringing immediately back into the studio and using it to teach the kids.
Gives them confidence as well, doesn't it?
There's one of the guys that I've got that teaches for me. He started with me sort of Easter 2022. So obviously I hadn't been open very long either, and he came in just to do a workshop for me. And I said, this is something that you could do alongside your training as a part-time job. It's going to give you the confidence. You don't specifically need particular qualifications to work, obviously, at a Saturday school or after-school clubs, other than, be DBS checked.
Yeah.
Ideally first aid trained. And he's like, I don't know. And he's still with me now. And he goes to Birds College. So he's doing that Monday to Friday. He also performs in amateur dramatic shows as well. So all of these things that he's learning are so new, they're so fresh. And then he comes back and the kids are getting it firsthand.
Yeah, brilliant.
So, that's why I like to give younger people the opportunity, straight off the bat.
So you said you started with 20 people turning up to one of your classes.
Yes.
How many do you have now then?
Over 100.
Really? Oh, all different age range.
Yeah, so the youngest is 18 months.
Oh,
yeah, we have a baby, probably a little baby class, which is lovely. And then my eldest is 15.
Wow.
Yeah, so they do range. And then going back to being linked to agencies, and I used to work for a dance school. It was actually my friend that I went to college with. There's so many of us from college that opened our own schools. Most of them have been going for over 10 years now. But my friend who's got her school, started an agency as well with her, so Young Performers Agency. And obviously the kids have to be on spotlight in order to be, and obviously the headshots and things like that. And then she puts them forward, for these incredible roles and things like that. So a load of the kids have already had auditions for some really, really cool projects, like TV pilot, commercials, advert, loads and loads of different things, tours and things like that. Films, she's got some kids in.
And I suppose she gives them the confidence.
What's her name? Do you want to say her name or not?
Nicole, Young Performers Agency. Nicole Killiam.
Okay.
She runs her own, obviously, dance school.
Whereabouts is she based?
She's, the school that I used to work for is Tunbridge. And she does a lot of after school, so she's out in Maidstone. She's that way.
Right.
And her kids do comps and stuff. They're another level. Her kids do comps and they're mainly dance with a bit of singing and acting thrown in. So I like to say that we are more performing arts based. So we do obviously the dance, we do all the, classical ballet and tap, but we're mainly, performing arts. We're all about confidence building, musical theatre, being who you want to be, being able to showcase what you think that you're good at. Yeah.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So where do you see it going in 5 years?
Oh, that is a good question. I don't know, because when I first started, I had no idea that obviously it would be where we are now. So we did, the first show that we did a summer show. So that was, the first one was 22, obviously the year before last, with 50 kids. Then the summer show we did last year with like over 80 kids.
What we shot, wasn't it? Where we sent
yes.
We sent Riley, little Riley.
Yeah,
out.
he was
all
great.
right? Yeah. It's his birthday today.
Good.
Well,
is it?
his birthday on the day of filming. Yeah, we just found it on Facebook. So we've got to send him a message after.
Happy birthday, Riley. No, he was great. He was lovely. He was really good.
So do you have to choreograph all of this yourself? So do you have to think, if you're doing a show, do you have to think ahead and think, right, we're going to set it for this date. We need to now plan everything ahead and choreograph all the dances, all the acting, everything.
Yeah, I'm really lucky that so obviously I started out just me. It's just little old me. And then I got another teacher, Zara, who teaches acting, drama,
right,
and the baby class. So I trained her to do the baby ballet, baby musical theatre. It was really hard because obviously it's very difficult to let go of the reins.
Yeah.
I obviously want to do it myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can't. And that's one thing that I struggle with is letting go and delegating because I just want to do it all.
Yeah.
She joined me in January 22 and she's still with me now.
Oh, that's good.
So she obviously likes it.
You haven't done anything to offend her.
No. So we've got, what have we got now? We've got 4. I've got 4 teachers now and 2 teaching assistants.
I suppose that gives you a little bit of home time as well. So you can go home and think someone else is doing it, or you can have your weekends back. And
no,
as such.
I still teach.
Right.
So I am still very much the only ones that I don't teach is on a Tuesday. So Zara teaches the acting, stage, TV and film for me. Obviously that's something that I would love to do.
Yeah.
But I know that she's more than qualified, more than capable. She's still doing a lot of workshops with big casting directors at the moment, and there's a company that she goes to, and she pays a lot of money to go and do these workshops and learn things. Because obviously she wants to be an actor. Well, wants to be an actor.
How old is she?
She's got an agent. She will be 23 soon. Right. So again, young. She was young when she started with me. And obviously, I would love to teach that, but you do have to say enough is enough.
Yeah.
Because I'm already out on a Monday night teaching street dance. We've got 3 street dance classes that run at the same time.
You've got a little baby as well, in a way.
Yeah. But that was the thing. Obviously, it was so weird because obviously Billy, having a second baby, but my school was a baby. It was literally like so new.
So you had to juggle both at the same time, really.
So Billy was 2 weeks old when I went back to work.
Take it, Billy's dancing now.
Oh, So, there was a running joke. So obviously I taught adult dance fitness like the whole way through my pregnancy as well.
Do you still do that now then?
Yeah. And they, the ladies was like, oh my God, it's like a washing machine in there going round and round. Poor baby.
She stopped a week before giving birth.
Yeah. I loved it. It just gave me something to focus on. And then it was literally, I think it was only because I had an ache or pain or something that week. And you went, no, don't do it this week, just watch. And then the week after I had Ted. So that was it.
Wow. Yeah.
And then he came out doing aerobics, literally.
But I do think, because my labour for Tilly was 5 hours, but for Ted, it was 50 minutes. The actual labour time was 50 minutes. I do think the exercise helped that.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to have to ask you to turn a little bit. We're filming in the back of your head. And you can come out a little bit.
But you want to get my even better side. I've got a good side and a fabulous side.
We're still trying to find it.
So funny. Oh, they're so close to my face.
There you go.
Sit here now,
there you go. No, you're fine.
It was great. I used to do voiceovers. I used to be with a voiceover agency.
Oh, right.
I didn't used to get filmed at the same time, so this is very strange.
Do one of your voiceovers.
I did Bite Size. Bite Size, I can't remember any of it.
The children's stuff.
Yeah. So I used to do voiceover Bite Size Vision.
Bite Size.
It's like a is it a revision?
I can't remember what age it is, but he's SATs and GCSE, Bites.
Right,
I don't know if it's still going, actually.
Was it like CBBC or something?
Yeah,
it was something
big.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. It was really funny, actually, because they recorded sort of a woman doing like the whole thing. I think I did science and maths, I can't remember. And the whole thing was recorded. And then they just decided, we don't like the sound of that.
Oh.
So that's when they asked me to go in and record over her voice.
In Yorkshire accent.
Well, it's supposed to be RP, isn't it?
Right.
No, I didn't actually know I don't know how to do RP. But yeah, more like a natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get...
It's Yorkshire accents are friendly anyway.
What do you think?
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh,
Everyone watches Corrie, you see, so...
Yeah.
It's a welcoming accent, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose so. I never really thought about it like that. I just think it sounds... I don't know. I just don't think it sounds great. It's not a professional voice, is it? Like my parents were like, all right, love, how are you doing? All right. It's just not.
I know what you mean.
It's not professional, is it?
It's the comforting sound everyone wants to hear.
Oh.
Sorry, going back to the question.
I'm not coming on to you, Zoe, honestly. Not in front of my wife.
Do you ever... Yes, fine, you can take him if you want. Do you ever get, like, when you're reading stuff, especially like with sciences and stuff, especially for your bite-sized stuff, did you ever read it and think, I have no idea what that means?
I wouldn't even know how to pronounce
Yes. Yeah. That's what really panics me.
And how do you say, okay, Mike, right.
Rach does a lot of voiceovers throughout the hour.
I've done like promotional videos, I've done safety videos, and some of the stuff got
a nice voice though. You've got a really nice tone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The real Rachel hasn't. She's like,
when I'm shouting up the stairs.
She's having a go at me about something.
Get downstairs for breakfast.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. I'm surprised my neighbours aren't called social services the amount of times that they hear me shouting.
What did we do? We did the molars, didn't we? From
so hard. It was
Dimadici Associates for starters. That's the name of the company. Dimadici Associates.
It was God, that actually hit the chicken as well.
Did it? Did the
How long
chicken
was that?
Way
I was
over
way
20.
out. Way out.
But it hit the chicken. Sorry.
It scares me. Like this is like the third, 26th podcast, and it scares the crap out of me every time.
When do you think? At what point do you think you're going to have a heart attack from that falling off?
It'd be funny if it was live.
Hilarious.
No, sorry.
It's got the old ticker going. I'm not going to lie to you.
Simon's got a pacemaker as well, so not that he likes to talk about.
I didn't mention it, did I?
Wow.
Did I mention it?
No, you didn't. And I did ask you, obviously, about that. And you didn't even bring up the pet,
No.
Wow.
Since I was 26.
26?
I'm on my third pacemaker.
Yeah.
And I know what pacemaker is because I watch Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, good, because I don't. You can tell me what it is.
I just know that when they get fitted.
Yeah, I've never seen it. And my cousin said to me the other day, you should watch it. And then she went, no, actually, don't watch it. Don't watch it. I was like, okay.
No, maybe not. No, maybe not. Yeah, no, there is quite a few episodes surrounding the pacemaker. Is that so?
But
maybe not.
The second one, because you had it in, didn't you? And then they said they like call him up and say, oh, you need to have a checkup and everything like that. It's normally a yearly thing, and they put like this little mouse on you, don't they? Yeah. And they say you can see, from the last year.
They actually flop something over me like that.
Yeah,
they just flop it there.
Oh,
for people only listening to this,
say that on there.
They're not flopping a penis over there. They're flopping.
I should hope not. What doctor surgery do you go to?
They're flopping, not officially anyway. They flop what looks like a computer mouse over the top of my left shoulder, and it sits on top of my pacemaker.
Yeah,
and then I get a printout come out my arse. Then it does a printout for the whole year. And you had an event here.
Yeah.
You had an event here.
No, stop.
Yeah, what was you doing on this certain date at this time?
I'm
with Rachel. It's not sex.
Arguing.
But it's
when
weird.
the bloody sign fell off the wall doing the podcast.
I went to the gym a few months ago, and I did the one where you pushed this weight along the ground. I thought, that's good. I thought, I like that.
Yeah,
I did it 3 or 4 times. I then put 100 kilo on it and did it again.
What?
And I nearly died, right?
To the point where he took a picture and he went, do I look normal? I went, no, you look grey.
And that's the first time because I haven't fainted since I was 26 because the pacemaker stops it. I used to pass out. And flatline, basically. I used to, they said they did loads of tests on me when I first passed out when I was 16. But then they said, don't worry, it's a common fit.
Yeah.
And so I went another 10 years, keep passing out every now and then, certain events.
Would it be like a weekly thing or like just every so often?
Events.
Right, yes, events. Certain events. Gotcha. Okay.
If I stood up and celebrated afterwards too quickly, I'd collapse.
Because everyone celebrates afterwards, don't they?
I mean, obviously, why would you not get them doing,
Yeah, so certain events, and for the next 10 years that was happening. Not every time, but if I stood up too quick, collapse. Right, so it went on for 10 years, and the nurse at work said, you really should get that checked again. So I got it checked. Everything was fine. They checked everything. It was absolutely fine. They said, there's one thing we can do. And I said, what's that? And they said, we're going to put a 24-hour tape on you, and you've got to do whatever this event is that you have to do.
Go and do the business.
Go and do the business. So I was with my first wife at the time, did the business, stood up straight afterwards, did star jumps.
Sorry?
Did you? Yeah.
I stood because I needed to make it happen.
Oh, you had, right. Okay.
So I did what I had to
Find
do.
out.
It's not. Is that a normal thing we do? Yeah, okay.
I did what I had to do. I made the transaction.
Yes.
Stood up, did star jumps, bang, straight on the bed, collapsed, and sent the tape off. And it was like a Sony Walkman. I could have lied to her and still attached another Walkman on me and said, it didn't work, we'll do it again. But, so I sent this tape away, and they called me and they said, right, okay, so we're thinking about writing you up. I said, give me my writing you up. He said, well, it's quite rare, there's whatever's going on with you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what? They said, look, here's your heartbeat, it's going really fast here. We knew what you was up to here. And it just slowed down, flatlined for 10 seconds.
And then started back
and then
up again.
started back up.
On its own, just it started back on its own.
And that's what they're worried about. So
If it didn't,
my
it would
pacemaker,
start back up again.
my pacemaker works 1% max at the time. The rest of the time, it's watching my heart to see if it's going to do that slow down, and then it go, oh, he's going to slow. I'll give him some beats, so it gives me the beats. Yeah, and I've not passed that ever since I was 26. Once I did, but that was we walked London to Brighton. And
For charity. Not for fun.
100 kilometres.
Just got up one day and just thought, it's a little wall.
100 kilometres for Great Ormond Street, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And after 5 kilometres, my knee was hurting.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh.
And I said to them, just leave me behind. I said, look, I'm stupid enough to still do it. I would never give up.
At 95 on a dodgy knee.
Right. So I did another 35 kilometres, and then an auntie, thank you, Les, found me in a field and gave me a knee brace.
Yeah, she bought
as soon as I put that knee brace on, I was able to run. That's how good it was.
Iron Man. He was like Iron Man. He literally walked past us and we went, is that Simon?
Did I caught up with you guys?
Yeah.
I caught up with them.
We stopped when we had our midway
meal. And I ran to where you had the meal.
Yeah.
Caught up with them, but we're talking now about 75 kilometres.
Yeah.
We sat in a woods, and I sat on a bench and just killed over, apparently.
We sat down because it was about 3:00 in the morning and we were all exhausted. So we were right, let's just have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And my dad stood up and I sat on a log and he sat next to me. And then I just felt this boom, and I looked around and I was like, don't worry, I'll be fine in a minute. And then he just got back up and he was like, right, come on then, let's go.
And that's the only time I've passed out since I was 26. So
and that's the only time
26,
that I've
that's 24 years.
Oh, G3.
Yeah, so what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. Anyway, I finished it.
Yes.
But 80% Rach. We call her 80% Rach. I did the London to Brighton. She did the London to Weaversfield challenge.
Where the hell's we?
Well, that's where she passed out.
20 miles outside. 20 miles outside.
Well, we had
what was it? Exhaustion.
It was just it was horrendous.
It was a checkpoint at 80 kilometres, and they massaged us there.
Yeah.
And she was like, go without me. It was like the end of a war film.
I know.
Go without me.
He was massaging my back and my hip. I don't know what it was, but my hips, and he was trying to do it, and I was going.
I was like, I'm going to finish this for you.
And then he left. So he didn't drag me with him for 20 miles.
No,
you wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have got up. Okay. I was begging you to get up, but you wouldn't get up. And I went, I'll do this for you.
I think what killed me was the night walks. I mean, I could handle it till about 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it was just so hard from 2:00 to about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning when it was single track through the woods, couldn't talk to each other, and it was just so hard. And I swear we had like 75k come up and we were like, yes. And then we walked another hour and a half and 75k came up again. And I was like, no.
It was like, 2k.
Yeah.
5k.
Yeah,
we missed the signs for 3 and 4.
Yeah, the first
5k, 6k, 7k. 12k. We missed those again. This is nice.
It was so easy
but then you got to
with.
the 50k. 51k, 52k, 53k.
And you saw every single
53.5k,
Yeah.
53 point. It was a nightmare, wasn't it?
So tough.
And we went a kilometre in the wrong direction once as well.
Because it was dark. It was like about 2:00 in the morning, and we came out of this woods and we went, right, it's up here. We were walking and we were walking. We were like, we haven't seen anyone for ages. And we were walking up someone's drive. It was like a farm drive.
No way.
I've gone a long way. And then she burst into tears again.
Oh yeah, but I can fully appreciate that.
Yeah.
That is
to the 72k sign, wasn't it?
a meltdown that's allowed to happen.
Yeah.
But I just remember, because I think it was exhaustion as well. So I remember just sitting down. We stopped and I just sat down once on the grass and I fell asleep, just sitting up, just went. And my dad literally had to say, wake up, we need to walk again. It was just,
How long did it take you?
I did it in 29 hours.
Yeah.
Because I had to be slow. I was slow for the first 45.
Wow.
I was all right after that. A little bit. Obviously, I got a little bit harder. But your dad did it in 20?
I think he did it in
22, 24, something like that.
I think he did it in just over a day. I think he did it in about 24, 25. Yeah.
But I know someone that was just as unfit as me, and he went with someone that was professional. And he did it in 19 hours. This guy pushed him so hard that he did it in 19 hours. He couldn't walk for 2 weeks.
Yeah, after
Surely
he hurt
couldn't
so
walk for 2 weeks.
Because we saw him a few weeks after, didn't we? And he said, I have just been able to get back into work and go to London again and stuff like that. Because he said, I couldn't even stand up afterwards. You're mad.
That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. But what an incredible thing to do, though. What an achievement.
It is an
huge achievement.
100K is, it's over 2 marathons.
Yeah.
100K is, I don't know.
I think we worked out a 64
or something like that, yeah.
Or something like that.
But it wasn't just flat road. That was, it was like on, your ankles were turning over for the whole 100K.
Yeah.
You was on these dirt tracks and you were standing on flint and things like that.
Yeah,
it's
not just one straight flat
it wasn't just a flat
road.
track.
Yeah.
It was all right, though. Anyway, yes, I've got a pacemaker.
Yeah.
Don't like to talk about it. And we spent half hour talking about it.
So where was the original? Where did we? Oh, the sign fell off.
And it hurts.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I nearly had a bloody heart attack when that fell off.
I know it was getting boring, whatever it was.
So rude. So bloody rude.
So have you been in any shows, adverts, or anything like that?
So when I went to college as a dancer that could sing a little bit and act a little bit. But I mainly liked to do comedy. I used to do a lot of Victoria Wood sketches.
Okay.
My drama teacher from the second school that I joined was just the most amazing. He was great. He was fantastic. He really, really was. And I learned a lot from him. And I think he always used to say that my comic timing was very good. Like whenever we were doing like scenes and things like that, you've just got to get that moment quite right, and the delivery of the line and the timing of the line as well. And he said that was something that I always had, especially like with the Victorian. She was just, incredible anyway. So all of her stuff was great that we used to do. But yeah, that's what I went to college as a dancer. And then left wanting to do acting, really. So I joined, I got a voiceover agent, and I did leave college with an agent as well. But prior to that, when I was at the second school that I joined, Stuart Stage School, we had so many opportunities as a school, which were just amazing. So all the tours that used to come round, all the theatres in like Bradford and Leeds, we used to be like, if ever they needed children, we were ensemble.
Wow.
So Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat used to have a children's choir. I think they're like a lot more involved in the show than what we used to be. We used to sit on this bench. So these benches would go from like floor upwards. And we had to sit there for like the entire show.
Oh, God.
And the only time that we could move was obviously in the interval.
Yeah.
And it was they were very, very strict about it. So obviously we used to do like all the ensemble stuff and like the harmonies, and it was just singing. And you had to face forward the entire time. And it was jeans at the time. It was jeans, and everyone wore the exact same T-shirt. It was the Joseph T-shirt. And these benches were just that. They were just wooden benches. There was no padding on them. no nothing. So as we got a little bit older, you know when you just like try and wiggle your bum, but it just made it literally just made it worse. And it would, the pain, the ache in the bum. So when we got a little bit older, we used to like stuff like a cushion down your jeans. But as you know, if you can't have a little wriggle, God, the pain. But yeah, we did that. Whistle Down the Wind. We were children in Whistle Down the Wind. I used to do a lot of extra work for like Hollyoaks and things like that.
Oh, right. Okay.
So being on set is just amazing. Like watching what goes on behind the scenes as well. I was in The Imitation Game.
Oh, right. Yeah.
With Benedict Cumberbatch and Keira Knightley. I did that. So like there's a few different like extra agencies that I joined. And then I my first job was working on a cruise ship after college. So I did that for like 7 months, which was really eye-opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously college was fantastic. I made loads of great friends at college, but I wouldn't say, other than the acting side of things, because I had an incredible acting teacher at college, other than the acting side of things, I don't think that I learned loads more than what I sort of had taken away from my dance
from your schools.
Yeah. So then going and working on the cruise ship and learning the amount of shows that we had to do and all of the routines and the different numbers that were in that show. One of them was Strictly Ballroom.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I obviously was a dancer anyway, but had never done Latin and ballroom before. So learning all these different things like, foxtrot, rumba, it was like an incredible job.
Yeah.
And I feel like I learned so much on that contract, more so than I did in the 3 years that I was at college.
Yeah.
But all the different shows that we did was just great. And obviously a live band behind Joe constantly. And yeah, it was just a great job. And then just tours and things like that, going touring. I never made it to the West End. Never quite made it to the West End. But yeah, there's loads of jobs that I did that, I'm really, really proud of. Some not so proud of.
So do you get butterflies? Like, would you get butterflies before you step out on that stage? Or is it more excitement?
It was excitement. It was adrenaline. And I just used to absolutely love it. And then now, obviously, being backstage and obviously the kids are what's important. Yeah. And we've put on a few shows since I opened the school. And I've obviously like worked for other schools before where they've done shows and things. But then being the principal of a school now, obviously you have to come out at the end and be like, oh, thank you for coming, everybody. And I'm like, before I have to go out. And it's just because you're going out as you.
Yeah.
And not playing a character, playing a different role. You're going out as you. Oh God, I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
It just doesn't bother me.
Really?
Don't bother me in the slightest going out.
Yeah, but I couldn't think of anything worse. I think I'm getting hives now just thinking about it. Just stepping out on stage.
But I mean, obviously, I do the group exercise classes. So I was like, I want to do something else. I want to qualify as a Zumba instructor. I hate Zumba now. I think that it's a con. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that because obviously, it's obviously a proper network. But when I say literally anybody can go and apply to get qualified, you go for the day. You're there from like 10 till 4 or whatever. And I swear to God, I kid you not, there was people in the room. There was about 50 of us. And you imagine they're doing this constantly, all the time in different areas of the country. Mm-hmm. It's true. It was at the time when I did it. It was £260. Okay, and you go and you learn. They've got different sections that they teach you, and they say like, oh, this bit is like street dance, and this bit's reggaeton, and this, and then no, they're just the same, just different music.
Music, yeah.
All it is like a salsa step,
maybe a
different
hand thing,
and that's it, and that's all it is, like repeated, but to different music. And they say, well, this is different dance style. No. And which was fine. And I thought, oh, I've got this because I can, obviously as a dancer, like I can choreograph stuff myself anyway.
You can jazz it up yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was just people on that day, and they call it like the workshop, and you got to do it in groups and you could teach other people what you'd sort of very briefly choreographed.
Yeah.
And there was people that couldn't dance in time to the music. And obviously as an instructor, you have to be able to do that. And it's dance based as well. Yeah. It's not just like, doing weights to music. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're off beat or whatever. You actually have to dance in time to the music. And I was a bit like, what?
And these people got signed off to say that they could do it.
Oh, everyone that day. You have a certificate. Here's a certificate. Everyone have a certificate. And you're a bit like, oh, okay. And then not only that, no one checks up on you.
Yeah.
But you have to pay every year to renew your license. But you don't have to go back unless you want to do like Zumba Gold or
right. So
Aqua Zumba
Plus. Or
you just go pay again. You go pay again, and probably as long as you pay over £100 every year for that license, you can still be a Zumba instructor. So in the end, I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, this is nuts. It's ridiculous. And all of their music is the same.
Yeah.
And they said, this is what you pay for. You pay your subscription. You get given the music. You get given choreography. Terrible. Horrendous. And the music's just, there's no words, there's no lyrics, no one knows a song, and every now and then it's like Zumba, and it's literally all the same. So you can never get into anything. And then in the end I was like, oh, obviously I didn't invent dance fitness. Dance fitness has been going for years, but I choreograph, or everything that I do is choreographed by me.
Yeah.
The songs are chosen by me.
And you say Zumba over the top of them.
And then I shout Zumba. No.
What was I going to say to you? When you do your performances that we film, Cherrywood Production.
Yes, Cherrywood Production film. Yes, thank you very much.
We got to talk about that, actually.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
We've got nothing planned.
We do.
We just got the date.
Yeah, we just have a date, yeah.
Do you have to get a license for the music you use? I don't know.
No, so if I obviously like a lot of the music that we use is cut. So we don't use the whole song for everything, or like we take chunks out, because like the children doing over 3.5, like obviously most songs are like 3 minutes, just over the 3 minute, and that's quite.
That's a long time.
That's long. But and if we, but if we did want like one of the older groups to do something like that, we like mash songs together, so we'd like make our own mix. If we wanted to obviously do a full-scale production from start to finish, like, I don't know, like Matilda Junior or whatever, then we'd need to get a license. But when I haven't done something like that yet, so the first summer show that we did was just like a mix of all different things, and I love a medley.
Yeah.
So I love we did Hairspray, we did Jersey Boys, and then obviously, as you know, Wicked. We did Wicked. This year just gone, and I just like, for me, when you do a production and you choose one specific musical or one show, one play to do, it's very difficult to give all of the children an opportunity.
Yeah,
because obviously you've got your lead, and then like your supporting roles, and then ensemble. So for me, I love to choose lots of different things to do. Like we did Little Shop of Horrors this year, just gone. So everybody gets an opportunity to show what they can do. And I don't think I could choose. And we always did that at Stuart Stage School. That's what we did. So like all of the different classes, like all the classes that you do, whether it be like ballet, tap, street dance, we all did like 2 or 3 numbers in each class, and that's what you would learn and work towards. And then there may be a little medley, like we did 1 year we did do Hairspray, we've done Les Mis, and that's what I like doing, because then all the children get to showcase if they want to as well.
Yeah.
We do little auditions in class and stuff. If you want a solo, then of course you're gonna have to get up and sing on your own, because you can't do it in class. Then how are you going to do it on a stage in front of everybody?
If that's what they want to do as well, then that's good practice for
that's
them
it,
as well,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
none of the children are ever forced. You know, if it's not something that they want to do, then, because I remember at college, I used to love singing. And then at college, it was so, like, some of the teachers were just so brutal there, so brutal. And I was made to cry a few times. And
it knocks your confidence.
It really knocked my confidence, especially with singing. So I just decided that's it. I teach private singing lessons now. And obviously on a Saturday where we've got 3 sessions running at the same time with 3 different age groups, we've got the dance, we've got singing, and we've got drama. I teach the singing, and I love obviously doing that. But at college, that massively knocked my confidence. And there's things that I learned at college that certain tutors and coaches would do. And then, you know, coming out of it and working for so many different dance schools as well, I've decided how I would like to run my performing arts school. And I want it to be a safe space for children. I don't want them to think, oh my God, she's going to make me get up in front of everybody and do. No, I mean, obviously we like to, if we can see it and if we know that, you know, a child has definitely got it in them, then we will gently try and, you know, pull it out of them. Yeah. But I would never, like at college, obviously you'd stand up and do a solo and then they just absolutely rip it out of you in front of everybody. What I don't see. Nah. They're like, when you get into the industry, this is what it's going to be like, and it's not.
Well, it shouldn't be like.
And it shouldn't be like that. But it's also not like that at all. And
that's because they've got no knowledge of the industry themselves. They've just watched Fame. Is all they've done.
Yeah, I mean, you do. There are a lot of teachers. There were a lot of teachers at college that didn't quite make it in the field. Yeah, so that's why
their backup.
They're obviously doing what they're doing. They're between jobs or they can't get it, so they go back and obviously teach. And you can really see it, and they don't hide it.
It's a bitterness.
It was very. There was one particular teacher that she would never learn anyone's name. It was like, sweetie darling, can you just move forward? Honey pie, can you move? Can you just go over there? And we didn't have a very good relationship. And one day I said to her, what's my name? Because it's not Honey Darling.
I bet she had no idea.
And she's like, we had a bit of a set too. And I was like, what's her name? What's her? And I would always be the person. I try not to do it anymore now that I've grown. But I always used to be the spokesperson
for everyone,
for everybody else. Like, because I just felt like, you know, when you feel like you need not justice.
You're the union.
Sort of like
it's almost like I've had enough of this now. I'm going to say what I say, and then I don't care what comeback it is because
this is what
I feel is right.
And
So I mean, there was one strong person to stand up for other people.
Yeah, it got me into trouble a lot though, especially when the people you're doing it for don't have your back.
No, they don't. It never happens.
No. So I did stop and eventually learned that sometimes, whether you believe it or not, it's better to keep your mouth shut sometimes, more often than not.
Which is sad.
It is sad. And I think because I was so direct and so straight talking as well, that I said it exactly how it is. Yeah. There was probably a better way of saying it and going about that situation than how I articulated myself. So I did obviously learn to do that as well.
A lot of people get passion confused with aggression as well.
Yeah.
I used to have that a lot. I'm trying to explain something. I get passionate.
That's it.
Simon, you're being really aggressive. No, I'm not being aggressive.
My husband does that sometimes. Why are you so aggressive? And I'm like, no, it's passion. It's passion. This is
not passion. Being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive.
I'm trying with my limited vocabulary.
This is it.
I'm trying to tell you.
You've got it all in your head. And you just want it to.
That's what it is.
They're just trying to find the words.
The right words. It's not going to offend someone, but then you end up offending someone. Yeah.
I mean, I've been told how blunt I am as well before. And maybe because you're northern, you're just so blunt. I don't really think like the two go together. Maybe I'm blunt as a person, but not because I'm northern. I don't know if the two like married together, but there we go. That's what I've been told. Yeah. But I like direct rather than the word direct. I'm very direct, straight talking.
But I think you have to. If you've got, let's say, 100 children that you need to control and teach and try to put your focus on,
Yes.
then you have to be blunt and direct sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Be direct, Simon. What do you want me to do?
I know it's hard,
Okay,
though.
sorry.
Try and face the camera a little bit rather than there just being a red blob of hair.
A red blob of hair.
Okay.
I might have to move you here next time so it's easier for you to show your face. No one wants to see me. They all want to see you. You're not here for your brains. You're here for your looks.
Direct.
Just a blank.
Sorry. I was being
Are you
passionate.
northern?
Passionate, yeah.
I wasn't being aggressive. I'm joking, my dear.
has there
You're very,
ever-
very clever.
Oh, thanks. Has there ever been a time that you've got on stage and completely frozen or forgot your words?
Oh
or-
yeah,
Really?
Yeah, so many times. Like the one I was singing. Oh, what was it? Colours of the Wind. When I was younger in one of our summer shows, and it was like, and just thought, oh my God, I can't continue singing after like my voice just broke in the middle of it, and I was like, and it just you can feel your face because all these like eyes are on you. But professionally, yeah, when I was working on the ship, yeah, because you're doing the same shows week in, week out.
Yeah. Several times a day, I suppose, as well, aren't you?
Yeah, a couple of times. And I decided to earn a little bit more money by working on the ship and apply to be
Pussy?
a dance. The shit, no. I teach children.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
I was trying to think of the word then.
Sex
Like
worker.
a dance. No. We prefer the term. No, I'm joking.
Rachel. Oh, she takes it to the wrong
Oh,
level.
brilliant.
Sorry. Sorry, Zoe.
That bit I won't
Sorry
be
about
able to.
that.
I have to tell the parents. If the children are going to watch this, can you just cut out the bit where Simon says
It does say on YouTube it's not for children.
That's all right then. Yes. Well, I forgot what I was talking about now. No, dance instructor. Sorry,
right,
I applied to
right.
be a dance
Oh,
instructor.
so you took the sort of guests out and
Yeah, so me and
You were like Dirty Dancing. You were like Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
Oh my
basically.
God.
Yeah. So me and the dance at the time, the dance captain's partner, we were coupled together, and we would go and teach the passengers like different dance styles, like rumba, salsa, foxtrot.
hold this watermelon.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, don't put baby in a corner. And yeah, we did that so that could earn a bit of extra money, because it was either that, and they got rid of the seamstress, and like they got rid of wardrobe on the ship.
Oh.
So two of my friends were wardrobe, so they had to like do like the washing and stuff, and the fixing of the costume, which they never did. We fixed our own costume because they were lazy. And yeah, so you could literally have like another little job that was sort of to do in with your field.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I was a dance instructor, and then we actually had to, which they'd not done it for a little while, and they brought it back on our contract on the ship that we were on, and you had to pick a passenger. Obviously, like they had to consent. to be, you can force them, like you will be my dance partner, to perform with you. And it was up on like the top deck, and it was like a whole night. So like all the passengers on the ship were invited, like, and they would sit and watch the 4 dance instructors with their passenger.
Yeah.
And you could teach them a style that you decided that you wanted to do with them.
Yeah.
And like you full on had to schedule rehearsals with them. And
I bet they enjoyed it, some, though,
do
or
you know
most
what?
of them.
They really, really did. And I won.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank
You
you.
should have bought your trophy.
I know I should have done, shouldn't I? Yeah, but I won, and I was so jazzed about it.
Oh, bless.
It was brilliant. And so my dance, so the guy that I was dance instructing with, he had my guy's wife.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which was really sweet as well. So they could, which was really nice. But yeah, it was good.
So I bet he had bragging rights over it all, didn't he?
She-
Yeah.
No, she won.
Yeah.
So
So
he
she
had
would
bragging
have,
rights over her.
No, she would have bragging rights over him because she won.
She won.
No, I got the guy. So I was with the guy.
Oh, right.
And
sorry.
the wife.
Yeah.
The wife was with the.
As mentioned, she's here for her looks. Right. Have you ever performed when the sea's been rough?
Oh yeah, that was
Really?
yeah. One of the guys hurt his foot because there'd be times where well, it sounds really weird. I don't know if you can imagine it, but you'd like jump in your dance piece, and then you'd
The
go
floor's
to land,
moved.
and the floor's gone.
No.
And then obviously it would meet you. Then you would meet your feet as
Yeah.
it came back up
Yeah.
again. So you'd like jump and it would like go
and then jump down.
Because
which was
cruise ships-
weird.
Cruise ships are pretty stable, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
But they still do,
yeah. So depending obviously on where you are on the ship as well, it can
of
be
course.
a lot. Obviously, if you're on the top,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
if you're on the
sides.
bottom.
I imagine the
like
centre middle
the
is probably
centre middle is where you want to be. And we did hit a couple of storms. We did have to divert once. And outside there was a doctor's office on there as well as they had like a GP surgery on there. And outside his office there was like a huge box of like anti-sickness tablets, which I've never really suffered with, like travel sickness or anything like that. But the motion sickness on the ship is just something else. So the dancers are basically like not that far up from like the lowest people on the ship.
Of course, you mean like where your bedding is. and all that,
Yeah. So when you go on to do your rehearsals, you are literally on like the tween deck, which is like right at the bottom. And the noises that come from down there.
Engines.
Oh, it is literally like the pit of the pit. But again, an experience nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I was really lucky because my cabin mate at the time, her boyfriend was working on the ship. So she went to stay with him. I had a cabin all to myself.
Oh, nice.
It was fantastic. Like for the entire contract, I had a cabin, and because these are tiny, tiny cabins. But yeah, we did eventually, when it was only like one deck up, but when we were actually physically working on there, rehearsals had stopped and the shows were obviously going on, we moved up one deck. So there's no windows, no part, like you're not at that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we would quite regularly go and sleep in the dressing room, because obviously the dressing room was on the same level.
Yeah.
The theatre was over like 3 levels, obviously like the seating as well, so it was of like 2 or 3 decks. So that's where we would go and lay, because that was like the flattest part of the ship, where obviously like it's not as rocky, and that is where we would be. Yeah, it was nuts. Oh, and we used to get like the neurovirus.
Oh God, and that used to do the rounds.
That would, and that was really bad. And when they got that, we literally had to, like, even the dancers had to like put on full hazmat suits. So we had to literally get in a hazmat suit, like the disposable hazmat suits, and we had to go around and sanitize
everything.
The ship, and there'd be like a code that they'd call, and that's what you had to do. You had to go but they said like, so that none of the dancers ever got this GI, gastroenteritis. They used to say, because we used to self-sanitize by drinking so much on the ship. So like none of us ever got it.
Wow. So the show would go on, but
the show
no audience.
No audience. We used to do like one, I can't remember, was one at like 7-ish at night.
There'd be no audience.
They'd be like, no, especially not in like the first show. Because the first show was like always around like dinner time. So the first show would be, as we'd thought, like, been on there and we'd done the show a lot, the first one just became an absolute piss take.
Yeah.
We would, if anybody had come on and watched the shows at that point, we would have been in a lot of trouble. So it was a lot of fun.
So you're quite new, aren't you, with your company? As in, you haven't been going that many years. So how did COVID affect you? Or did you make this in COVID? Did you make your company in COVID?
So there was plans of like me thinking, I've been doing what I do for other people for such a long time, and I did obviously start up my own Zumba class. That I was like, can I do this myself, And I did think about that. It was literally just before COVID started, and I just inquired at a school about possibly renting their hall on a Saturday for a couple of hours. And then it just obviously got squashed because COVID, and there was no chance of anything happening. And I was still working for another school at the time. And we were doing things, obviously on Zoom. Zoom. Oh. So I would teach singing on Zoom and all the children would be muted apart from me. So I'd have to mute all of them and we're like, la, 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 la. Very good, everybody. Well done. And I obviously can't hear a thing because they're muted. But you couldn't physically have them all on at the same time.
The timing and the connections.
That's it. And the reverb from and obviously their background noise in their homes, as well as obviously what they're doing. And then
you get that echoing.
There's actually an app for bands to rehearse over the internet like that.
Yes.
And I tried it early days. It was just impossible.
Didn't work. No.
Same sort of thing.
You know what it's like when you both sort of try and do something together on Zoom or over the internet. It's just the timing's never there.
No.
All it takes is one person to have a weak signal and then they come in late and that throws you off. Then you start again and there's a delay.
I mean, even if you've got even if like all the connections are great and you've got a good it just it's not gonna work.
You can create tunes over the internet, as in you do one, I do the bass line, the drummer does his bit, and someone else does it separately and join them together. Yeah, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you've all got decent equipment, you can write, do songs over.
Yeah, of course.
Do high quality tracks, but you can't do it together yet.
No, the worst one was tap. So obviously, my husband was like, "You're not tapping on our hardwood floors," and so he got me a board. So I'd put a board down, and I had a very professional setup. So we have a mirror above the fireplace, and I didn't have like a laptop at the time. I didn't really need one. So I didn't have a laptop like with a webcam or anything like that. So it was phone or iPad. But I couldn't get it so that it could see the whole space and me. So I actually have a picture of it. I had to sellotape. It was the only way that I could get it to see me from head to foot and around like my obviously area was to sellotape the phone or the iPad to the mirror. And that's what I used to have to do before every lesson. It was like sellotape. But like I'd have to make sure that it was in the right place so that they could see. And then tapping, obviously, again, the kid, every lesson, all of the children would have to be on mute. So and if they had a question, they used to have to come right into the camera with their hand in the camera. And obviously when you're teaching, and I'm blind as a bat as well, so I could sit, they'd be stood in the camera like, me. And then like unmute themselves like, I really need to go for a wee. Okay, well you're in your own home, so just go. And in some classes you'd like have a kid that everyone else is doing like pliés and first position and like get a chair so we can do bar, for the ballet. And there'd be like a kid upside down on the sofa, like, doing crab like over the back of the sofa, and be like, Jennifer, do you want to join the lesson? No, okay, that's fine. Because what can you do? No, and obviously, mum or dad is working or cooking dinner or sorting out the siblings, and
just
it's not their job. But you would though, wouldn't you? Because you've got to do what you've got to do. But tap, or we did tap for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then I would unmute them one at a time so that I could listen. But obviously they're doing a move and then the sound would come afterwards.
Yes.
So you're trying to watch and you're trying to obviously help and, give them feedback and stuff. And then I'd be like, no, right, listen, everybody. So I'd mute. And then I stood on the board and be like doing like, I was teaching time steps.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, can we all hear that? And then they were just like looking in the camera. So I was like,
hello.
Like, what was the problem? And then, because obviously they could type.
Yeah.
But I never saw any of the like comments or anything. Because obviously you're never in the camera.
No.
You're just sort of
and you've got all these like 9 different boxes
all
of
the
children.
faces. That's
You've
it.
got all the comments. And yeah.
Like, what's wrong, guys? And then one of them just like unmuted themselves and were like, Miss, we can't actually hear you. And I was like, what, today? And they were like, no, every week.
Oh my God.
So they... for whatever reason, it hadn't been able to pick from like the crap camera, like iPad or phone mic or whatever. So they just see my feet moving and no idea what the timing is, what the sound, like they can't hear anything. And then obviously not only that, you've got your speaker. So you've got the speaker there that is just, was, I would never, ever go back to doing that ever again. I could never physically teach.
I think COVID has helped that improve. You know, the technology improved.
Yes, it has.
Did you ever hear of Zoom before COVID?
No.
I don't think I have one Zoom meeting.
I wish I had shares.
Yeah.
No, mate. I wish I had shares before.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we used to use Zoom for everything, like when we did like the family, because obviously all of my family still live in Yorkshire. And, you know, they put the fear of God in you that you weren't allowed to travel. Like, you know, it had to be for something specific. Visiting family obviously wasn't one of them, and especially if they weren't in your bubble. So that was really hard as well. Not being able to have.
You did like games night in the end, didn't you? Every Friday was
quiz nights and things.
Quiz nights and different.
To the point where, you know, those sticky things you can throw at the glass and they just sort of gradually fall down.
Yes.
My day, it just used to be sticky spiders or octopuses, but now there's men.
Aren't they?
Men.
That's it. Yeah.
We buy 12 of them. We give them all their own numbers. And we have races. And people like betting on them. We'd all put £10 in. And then whoever won the most races and got the most points.
No way.
Because we had marble runs one night, didn't we?
Marble run?
Like marble runs. And we said to our neighbour, because she was involved, so I think she's 3 doors down, wasn't she? And we said to her in the end, like everyone was still on Zoom, and we said if she can get here within 30 seconds, we put a timer, she can have her money. If not, it goes to charity. And she was like, right, she got out the door. She literally ran in our house. I've never seen someone running.
Masked on, ran in the house, took the money, waved at everyone and ran out.
That is fantastic.
We had a laugh. We did have a laugh.
But it was like, how else can you, because there was only so much TV you could watch. We had countdown, we had Would I Lie to You? We did a little bit of everything.
Would I Lie to You? Found out my mate was in the Mile High Club. Someone caught him. Someone caught him in doing whatever in the mile, and then joined in.
Yeah. That's got to be a made up story.
We said lie. We were like, it's a lie. And he went, that's true.
That's true.
How would you all fit in there? That's what I want to know. How do you all? I mean, it's barely even big enough for one person.
Do you know what my Would I Lie to You was? When I was playing football, I lost my shin pads and had to use, so my trainer wouldn't tell me off. My sisters put sanitary towels down my socks instead of shin pads.
So he broke his shin, but
it still looked like shin pads, but I actually went to football once with sanitary towels.
Like stuck?
On the inside of the sock.
Yeah, on the inside, so stuck to your leg. Yeah. And then the sock.
Back then, I didn't think they had the sticky bits. Right, I'm talking about 10, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
That's like 40 years ago.
Yeah, so I've had jumpers for goalposts, sanitary towels for shin pads.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Brilliant.
Mental.
Right, Zoe, who are you looking for? Kids? Orphans?
What?
For your business? For your business?
Who am I looking for?
To expand your business, you're looking for children that are willing to want to dance.
Would you do like adult dance classes if you had?
We've always considered having a little dance together, haven't we?
I think we just mess around. We would just not take it seriously.
There are people that do like your first dance classes. So like you go I mean, it always makes me cringe a little bit when I see people doing a choreographed first dance. Regardless of whether you're a professional dancer or not. Just cringe inside.
We have to be careful what we say, but we know where you're coming from.
No, I mean, do you know what? At the moment, most of, I would say 80% of our classes are full.
Oh, right, okay.
We're at capacity.
What are you doing here then?
I just want to come for a chat. No one else wants to talk to me.
All right.
All the kids are at school.
So you're not actually looking for any kids. Any kids that want to learn to dance, don't go to ZAPA. She don't need you.
No, we do. And obviously, you know, it's really difficult because I don't want to be one of those schools that's like, get as many kids in as we possibly can.
Quality.
It's got to be, that's it. It's got to be safe. There's got to be enough space, obviously, for the children in the classes. And it's really difficult for the... Sorry.
I want to see your face.
Sorry. Not my big bottle of water.
That's all right. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really difficult for the teachers as well. Like if I have people, because we do offer free trials, so that the children can just come and try a class for free. And then if they want to sign up, great.
Sign up, yeah.
But it's so hard as a teacher to constantly have a new child in every week, because how can you ever teach?
No, I see.
You can't ever progress, because you can't ever continue on from the following week.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to leave that child out, but you also want to continue with the learning that you were doing from the week before.
So what would you try and do? A yearly thing where you get them in?
Well, I try to stick to like the beginning of the term.
Yeah.
Right.
A beginning of a term, but I work alongside the school terms, which technically is half termly compared to like other dance schools.
Right, okay.
So we invoice half termly, which is like every 6-ish weeks.
Yeah.
And we try to stick to doing the free trial sessions at the beginning of every half term.
Yeah.
If we're full, then it would be every like full term,
Yeah.
so like every 12 weeks kind of thing. So that the teachers can get to know the children, because if they're like learning new kids every week, and also don't forget, we do have a fantastic like retaining rate.
Yeah.
But they've, if then that child doesn't come back, then they've put a lot of work into that child, and then they're just like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are smack bang in the middle of a lot of huge schools as well.
Yeah.
Like massive franchises. So that's another thing that obviously, that we have to contend with, I suppose.
Absolutely.
But it is what it is. There's so many dance schools. Like if you actually have a look, there's so many dance schools in Gravesend alone.
Well, Tilly used to go to one in Gravesend.
Yeah, no longer there. And
No, she had children.
became a mum.
She
Yeah.
had children,
okay. Yeah. It is hard. It's so difficult to do like alongside, especially when, I never envisioned growing as quickly as what I did. So like a lot of the other stuff, so I'm still sort of back in the Stone Ages really with it, like the admin. I was still doing like paper registers and like writing the children's names out for months until like I found a better system. And then my sister-in-law helped me, so she created spreadsheets for me. So I've had to learn how to do IT again.
And accounts and stuff like that. It's all of that sort of stuff that you don't
so much
think
stuff.
of, like a dance school. Oh, you should dance, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But actually,
you
it's
just
not.
choreograph.
Yeah.
But then, there's so many things that we do. Obviously, I've done shows for other dance schools, but then actually physically running your own show, getting everybody involved, like chaperones, the photographers, the videographers, as you well know, like there's so many different things.
Rachel's a qualified chaperone if you need her.
Are you? Well, there we go then.
So if you do need anything, I did my first show November.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Well, Tilly's danced since she was 2, I think. Yeah.
How old is she now?
13.
Oh, wow.
So she's literally within the last year gone on to points, and she loves it.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. In her room, it's all tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, I
and
bet
you're like,
it is.
Shut up, Tilly.
Yeah. As a dancer, that's probably the most exciting progression to go through.
That was her thing. It was next year I'm doing points. Next year I'm doing points.
Yeah.
And that was her goal.
Yeah.
And now she's got to it. But I mean, we both cried, didn't we, when we saw her in her show?
Filming it and crying.
Yeah, of course.
She's so elegant. And I mean, when she was little, obviously there was the basics, and it was sort of like, well, I know my basics, and you could see her working it through in her head, like 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
But now she doesn't, and it's just the gracefulness, of just when she's on stage, and she's just got the biggest smile on her face, and it's amazing.
Oh.
But yeah, being a chaperone behind the scenes, it's like, that needs dressing, she needs dressing, we need to do that. And oh my God,
it's a very, very stressful environment. Yeah.
And our son's head is 7.
Oh yeah,
and it was his first year, so he performed for the first, and he doesn't give a toss.
But
he enjoys it.
Enjoying it.
But like, it's the same as school. What did you learn today? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, we said to him, "What are you wearing in the show?" And then he went, "Oh, I don't know." And because
it turns out he's wearing a Quality Street outfit by the looks of it.
It was but I saw, because I had to be a chaperone for the dress rehearsal the week before, and I saw him, and he got on, and he went, "Oh, this is my outfit," and I went, "Oh my God, you look amazing!" He went, "Oh, thanks, Mum."
Oh, that's so
he knew exactly what he was wearing. He just couldn't bother to tell us.
Only boy.
Yeah, only boy.
Apart from the teacher's, the main person's son, he's the only boy there. So from, all the way up the ages, really, because the son is, early 20s, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's the only boy. So they were measuring all the kids up for the dresses and everything. And he said to the teacher, "Do I have to wear a dress?" And she went, "Do you want to wear a dress?" He went, I don't mind. He doesn't care. He don't care, though. He just lets it all go over it.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So they all come out ballet with their arms like this.
Oh no,
and
holding their skirts.
Oh, holding their skirts, and he's like, is he like this?
No, you have to hold it.
Oh
on
yeah,
the hips,
yeah. He came out like this, and then he does that. Yeah.
At the end, all the girls do this and cross their
And he
arms. And he has to
salutes.
salute.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And I watched
purple sequin shorts on.
Love that.
I'm so using it on his wedding day.
Leotard, because every time he reached up, because the shorts were too big, his belly would show, so they had to cover that up.
Oh, that's so cute.
He didn't care. He was like, oh, well, I'm just
He rocked it.
Oh.
But then afterwards, he was so excited to see people and go, what did you think? What did you think of my show,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
bless
He
him,
was
yeah.
so excited.
He's funny.
It is. I think
I
it's
love it.
so great for the kids. Like, even if they don't want to progress and go on to, like leave school and go to a performing arts school or a dance school or whatever, I think that the skills and life skills and just the confidence and everything that they take, it's just so great. And I think it's just wonderful for the children to be able to be involved in things like that. I was lucky enough to last year take quite a few of my children have, not my biological children, obviously I only have 2 of those, but I call them my children because I feel like they're not my children.
Mother Goffle.
What's that?
Mother Goffle.
That's it, yeah, mother.
best.
Yes, so I
love that film.
It's fantastic. So I invited my friend Nicole, who has the agency, to come and meet some of the children. She was, expanding, looking for more kids for the agency. So we invited some children to come and have a workshop day with her, and then she chose some of the children that she thought would go well.
Is there agency just kids or adults as well?
It's just what did this? Because they can only join Spotlight from the age of 4.
Right.
So prior to that, it would be more like modelling.
What's it go up
to? 18, I think she goes up. So sorry about that.
I'm honestly looking for an agent.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
What? Would you like to join
Acting,
one, or do you want
comedy
dancing?
Acting.
I mean, there are loads. There are so many.
I haven't looked I've not avidly looked, but it'd be nice to be honest.
I'll help you with this. Talk about that. I can help you.
Spur of the moment kind of thing that you just think, oh, might do.
No, spur of the moment. I've acted in a couple of things. People say I'm good. That's what my mum thinks I'm amazing.
So I had my show reel when I came out of college. I had my show reel filmed by Slick Showreels, who are still going as well, and they use actors. Obviously, if you don't have like an actor friend that you can take with you and like learn the script or whatever, then they actually employ people
to do that for you.
To do that for you, and to obviously like be in a scene with you. And yeah, which I think I actually emailed them a little while ago because I was like, I could do that. I reckon I could do that. I'd love to do that. And then I think, when would I fit it in? Because I can't fit all of it in. But I'd love to do it. And of all these, I'd love to join another amateur dramatics group. I'm just like, I don't know when.
That means I haven't locked the back door.
Well, it means you have.
No, I don't think I've locked the back door.
Sorry.
Security.
It's all right. This is pre-recorded.
Oh, it's all right, because yesterday I came in the house after work and then relieved my mum and dad-in-law of babysitting duties. And as I opened the door to let them go, my bloody house keys and car keys were still in the front door, which is something that I like to do frequently.
Oh, my dad before has come home, had an evening out with clients in London, got a taxi home, come home, opened the door, left the door wide open. My mum came down the next morning and went, it's really cold in here. He left the front door wide open.
Wow.
My sister.
Oh, God.
She got on the bus. She always does. She got on the bus to go to work.
Yeah.
She's in the bus stop. She's looked up. Clothes hanging in the bus stop. Her husband's clothes. My brother-in-law went to work an hour before with his dry cleaning, hung them on the bus stop, and then got on the bus and left them behind. And she looked up, and this bus stop is full of people, and she's going to him, look, I know this looks like I'm taking these clothes, but these are actually my husband's clothes. house.
No way, that is ridiculous. I mean,
and he is useless and all that. You know, he's left them behind, and now I'm. Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't like his pants or
How
something.
funny.
Yeah.
It was just like a
Funny.
shirt, I'm assuming.
No, it was shirts and jackets and trousers. Yeah,
Wow.
dry cleaning. Yeah, he was meant to take. Yeah, he left it in a bus stop, but my sister,
Hanging up.
she's like double taked on it. You know, what the idiot? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
No,
that
I've
realisation of, oh shit, I know that they're mine.
Yeah.
My husband.
I mean, I've done a lot. I've left things in various places.
loads.
I'm the worst, forgetful.
Mm.
But I think it's rushing. I think that's what it is.
Mm.
It's rushing and constantly. I don't really think that it's. I mean, it probably is a bit of a divvy thing to do, but for me, I think it's just constantly rushing around and
But,
getting.
yeah. And you've got to think, right, I've got to go here, I've got to go here, I've got to do this. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to give anyone your details? Not vital statistics.
Not only fair.
OnlyFans gets mentioned nearly every podcast. Does.
I know.
It's not
you were
really about
talking
you,
about
actually.
She's giving it the I know. She hasn't even listened to it.
I genuinely do. I do know. I heard you talking about it on the podcast.
What's the details? ZAPA.
ZAPA at OnlyFans. No, I'm joking. It's my Instagram, because obviously that's what you do
does
nowadays.
now,
Isn't it? It's Insta and Facebook is your,
Do you personally
marketing.
do that as well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. So you're
It's
quite good
just-
at it then.
Well, not really. I don't think I'm good at it. I teach myself how to do a lot of
Mm.
stuff. But yeah, when you wear all the hats of a business, as you well know, it's so hard. But I am at Zoe Adele Performing Arts.
At Zoe Adele Performing Arts. We'd probably follow
You
each
do
other.
follow
wouldn't we?
me, yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
noticed the
you do.
Adele on there though.
I only changed it really recently because so many people were asking me, ZAPA, great name. What does it stand for?
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, Zoe
Okay.
Adele. And I was like, oh, not Ashby. No. Because I know this is mine. This belongs to me. And I was a dancer long before I got married.
So Zoe
So in the
Adele
divorce.
Yeah, that's it.
So-
Yeah.
at Zoe Adele Performing Arts. Any email address? And no.
Zoe at ZAPA performingarts.com.
really good at voiceover.
She's what's her name? Lisa Tarbuck. That was a Lisa Tarbuck impersonation.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I feel it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that name.
Because why don't you know that name?
Why is that not ringing a bell?
Lisa Tarbuck.
I
Jimmy
don't know.
Tarbuck's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
She's a presenter on BBC Radio 2. I think she's still on there. She may have left by now.
Is she on Grade
Lisa
6
Tarbuck.
or whatever it is now? She may have moved over to.
She does a lot of things. She does a lot of things.
Maybe. Sorry.
Anyway,
Don't
got one more story to tell you.
Yes.
I've got a friend that was in Greece.
All right. Who?
I can't say his name.
Okay.
Say his first name.
I can't say his name.
Okay.
And he was doing a live performance of Greece on TV.
Yes.
Right. I don't know who.
He?
I think it was on TV.
It was sort of like on stage.
It was on stage and recorded.
Oh, right.
That can also happen, you know. And he was singing a number. I don't know who he was. I think he might have been Danny Zuko. Is it Danny Zuko? On
Is
Greece?
the
Yeah,
lead?
it
Yeah,
is.
I
yeah.
think he might have been in, but I'm not sure. But he got
Okay.
to a point where he wasn't feeling too well while singing. He got to a note where he's like, ah,
No.
followed through,
No.
followed through. And he says, if you watch his face when he does it, he goes,
You know.
ah, ah, ah.
No.
Follow through, yeah.
I thought you were going to say be sick. I've done that before. I did a pantomime where I used to do pantomime. Oh, that's another thing that I'd love to do, is to do pantomime again. I'd also love to write my own pantomime. And, yeah. But anyway, again, I digress. I was really poorly. I used to get like a stomach bug at every like Christmas, like winter time. And I was playing the fairy godmother, and it was like my character was always so unbelievably like ridiculous. Like one minute I'd come on in point shoes. Hello everybody. It's your fairy godmother.
She's perfect to paint her, isn't she?
And oh god, I love it so much. I played an ugly sister, but this was when I was being a fairy godmother, so come on in like a different outfit or like different shoes or like, you know, it was tap shoes, ridiculous, absolutely absurd. And I used to have to go off every so there was a bucket at side of stage for me basically.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah. And I'd have to keep
never
going
on
off.
stage?
No, I didn't. I luckily was like managed to like, anchor.
Hold it in.
And then wait until I was, and then back on for, my big number. Yes.
Lovely.
Make sure that the mic was off and all that.
But not through nerves.
But not through nerves. No.
Jamie Bannerman's been Captain Hook a few times, and the locker room's been locked before he's even put his hook on. I think he had to use a coat hanger once. He had to go on with a coat hanger.
Amazing. A coat hanger. That's just looking really scary, isn't it? A coat hanger.
Yeah. He either had the coat hanger ready and they managed to open it in time, or he went on with the coat hanger.
I actually know another lead that played Danny Zuko as well. And
what was his name?
I must not say. And he one time, so I don't know if you've seen. Like,
I've not actually seen it on stage.
Oh, so good, really, really good. And the opening credits like almost like two balconies, and he missed all the calls. He missed curtain up, and his understudy was ready, obviously, to go on because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And he got there just in time, walked past his understudy onto the balcony and was like, Sandy. And he just literally left his understudy in the wing.
Oh.
And he'd managed to just stick his leather jacket on and just walk straight out on stage and just start. He doesn't do West End anymore, funnily enough.
I bet they weren't happy with that.
No.
So then this understudy then had to obviously go and get ready for his role.
All right, okay.
So made
fine. Well, no, because then whoever was then doing the swing part for whoever, so then it would have literally been like filtered. Yeah, because there's so many understudies, and then you've got the swing for the ensemble.
Yeah,
and the swing obviously have to learn everyone's tracks. It's a nuts job swing.
We had no resistance. Oh my god!
So he would have been like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's my little story for you.
Sorry, we're going. We always do this. We ask for your information, and then we can. But I was listening to the radio the other day, and there was an Evita up north or something.
Yes.
Did you hear about it?
I heard this.
So the kids, the school that I used to, they didn't do it when I was there, but they were in Evita as well. They had like the ensemble for children. But yeah,
the main Evita was ill. The understudy was ill. They contacted this woman. I think she lived in Norfolk or something like that.
No, it's about 3 hours away.
3 hours away.
Yeah.
She hadn't done Evita for 3 months.
No, since 2019.
Oh, yes, 2019. And they said, look, will you do Evita?
We need this urgently.
And she went up there, knocked it out of the park.
3 hours in the car to remind herself of all the songs and everything like that.
Wow.
And she said, they obviously pre-warned everyone, I think, didn't they, beforehand?
So the director got on stage and said, look, both Evitas are out. We've got someone here that's done Evita before, and we want you to sort of give us some encouragement. But no, she knocked out.
Yeah.
Wow.
She said it was amazing.
So that reminds me of when I was like 15 at the time, and I was doing panto again, ensemble, loved it. And the dance school owner's daughter was the lead. There was a princess, and her friend was, I think it was Aladdin, and her friend was like lady in waiting. And they were on for like, obviously, most of the show in like loads of different numbers, whatever. And they fell ill. Both of them fell ill. And at the time they didn't really do, like, it wasn't a huge, like, it wasn't a really long run of panto. So there wasn't any understudies, but they physically like could not go on stage. So the next best thing was my friend, who was 16 at the time, was like, will you go on as the princess? So she obviously had a script to learn, but luckily for her, all of the songs were like click tracks. So it was they could just play it and she could lip sync over it, because there was a lot of dancing involved. Yeah. And obviously then her friend, the lady in waiting, who was also sick, my mum got the phone call. I was at school and was like, oh, you need to go on stage tonight as the lady in waiting. And I was like, what? What am I going to do? I don't know how to do that. And we did. We both had a script side of stage. Wow. And we did 16 and 15. And it was the scariest.
I can imagine.
Because obviously you read the script and you're like, yeah, you've got it side of stage. And you're like, yeah, scan it. And then you go on. And then you see the entire audience and you're like, it's gone.
blackout.
It's literally gone in and gone. But it was petrifying. But I mean, what an experience.
Yeah. Have you ever had any dress malfunctions or things that got caught or things that sort of came off when they shouldn't have come off?
So working on the cruise ship, we had this, we had a jive on the Strictly Ballroom show. We had jive. And the costumes were incredible.
Yeah.
They were really, really, obviously they're kept from like contract to contract. But they were amazing costumes, and there was a change for every single number that we did. So there were so many quick changes.
Yeah.
But this jive costume was like black and yellow, and it was like a leotard, and then with a fully attached skirt. And it sort of like went outwards because it had like a little bit of wire in the bottom, so it was like all wavy and stuff. And with the jive, obviously, you've got to like pick your feet up and like flick it out.
One that Tilly pretends to do in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's great. And I kicked my foot up a little bit too far at the back, and my heel went in the wire. And because it wouldn't come out, they were quite big heels, it pulled me down with it. So I like put my foot in the back and then pulled myself down, and then couldn't get it out of my heel. So I just had to crawl off stage with like my heel in the back of my dress. That was embarrassing.
And then come back on like, oh yeah.
That was great. Like managed to like unhook it. You know when you just can't. You're just busy
and it just gets
do
stuck,
it. So I was full on such a crawl. That was like one of the most embarrassing things that had ever happened.
Yeah.
Because you just know everyone's there wasn't there wasn't like hundreds of dancers on stage. There wasn't that many of us. And you're like totally out in the open.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
Because that's what we say to Tilly, don't we? We say, look, if you mess up, just own it, Tilly.
Don't worry about it.
This is it. You know, I say to the children, I do say this to the children all the time, like, you're not robots. You may have a mind block, because these things happen, they do. And especially when I was on the ship, you know, you're doing the same thing. And you'd be thinking like, oh, I'm going to probably... I'll drink gin in the crew last night. And then all of a sudden you're like, crap, what am I doing? And everyone's doing something this step and you're like, oh, there we are. Okay, right, I can join in now. You just have these like blanks, especially when you...
I jump set lists all the time with music. I jump because I'm terrible, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at...
You have to...
My eyes cannot do line after line.
Yeah.
And I jump stuff unless it's multicoloured. I'll start a different song from anyone else.
And everyone else is looking at you like,
what the hell? Why are you playing this one before?
We've got four before this.
Nightmare. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
for having us on. Have you seen the comedy The Tab Theory?
God.
And we'll end it there. Thank you very much.
What is that?
Our comedy.
That's what I was going to say to you. Is that what you filmed? I didn't know what it was called.
Okay. Worth a try.
What did you say? I said to Tony, do you think they need any actors?
At some point.
I did watch it.
At some point.
I did watch it.
Have you seen
I
it?
just didn't know what it was called. Not the whole thing, no. But I saw all the things that you posted about it when I was following you. And
right, okay.
And then you spoke about it in one of your podcasts, because I do listen to them.
Oh yeah, that was last Monday. Yeah, that was the.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
you just see the interview. That's all you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on, Zoe.
Oh yeah, wedding awards.
See that?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Got a lot of dust on them now. Thank you.
Thank you.
This podcast was brought to you today by Austin's Eatery on Station Road, Strood.
Try the Viking Challenge.